Hello everyone. Today on Good Morning Maine, one man is dead following a UTV crash in northern Maine. We'll have the details, plus the latest on what Maine is doing to protect the state's most vulnerable children. And we'll also meet Hazel, a fire dog from Camden, who's creating smiles wherever she goes. Good morning, everyone. I'm Craig Colson. Emma Smith is off today. We thank you for joining us. We'll have all the day's news coming up in just a few moments, but first a check of that forecast. Looks like any rainy weather will be coming to an end as the morning rolls along today. Should see a few breaks of sunshine as the day continues. Overall, not a terrible day after we get through the morning hours. Let's turn things over to Conrad to see exactly what we can expect.
Thank you so much. Our first weather this morning is brought to you by Tip Trailer, offering discounted and a great selection of local produce, meat, and dairy. All right, guys, visibility is not too bad. All over the area, we are at 10, so visibilities are very good. Good conditions are in the area, not much fog, but we do have some overcast conditions, even a couple of lingering sprinkles still left over. We did have some rain yesterday, overnight as well, and then into these early morning hours, kind of like expected, but things will start to clear up later on this afternoon. Wind speed wise though, not too bad. Besides here in town, we do have a 10-mile-per-hour sustained wind. That means wind gusts are closer to 25 miles per hour. Up north, Millinocket area, Greenville, a little bit lighter, but still at around 7 miles per hour. And then right by the coast, Bar Harbor, Rockland, things are looking very calm. For today though, mainly cloudy, scattered rain showers in the area. Temperatures will be hovering at around 55 degrees. For tonight, a little bit cooler, lower 40s outside, mostly cloudy skies and calm conditions once again. For tomorrow though, upper 50s near 60 degrees, partly cloudy skies and a light southwest breeze at just 5 to 10 miles per hour. Later on this afternoon, we are going to continue to see some overcast conditions, a few lingering sprinkles possible. Other than that, we will stay dry. Temperatures back in those mid 50s.
All right, thank you, Conrad. We'll see you a little later on. Well, in today's news, an evening UTV ride left one man dead and another injured. It happened in the town of Westfield a little after 10:30 Sunday night. According to the Maine Department of Inland Fisheries and Wildlife, the UTV was driven by 40-year-old Jason Wilmot from Portland. His passenger was identified as 44-year-old Chris Foster from Gorham. Officials say they were traveling down a small hill when they came to a slight turn in the road with a low spot. When the UTV went through it, Wilmot was not able to negotiate the turn and hit an embankment and a tree. Both occupants were ejected from the UTV and Wilmot was pinned underneath the vehicle. He passed away at the scene. Foster sustained head injuries and was transported to Northern Light or Gould Hospital in Presque Isle. The department says an initial investigation suggests that alcohol may have been a factor in that deadly crash. Bangor police arrested two men on Saturday after receiving a report of a possible burglary along Hammond Street. According to Bangor Police Sergeant Jason McCambly, officers who arrived on the scene located a van with two individuals inside. Police say after speaking with them, a handgun was spotted in the passenger area of the van, and a search of the vehicle turned up a large amount of illegal drugs. 53-year-old Don Dubé of Newburgh and 36-year-old Scott Lord of Bangor, both arrested and transported to Penobscot County Jail. Lord is currently charged with possession of a firearm by a prohibited person, along with aggravated trafficking in scheduled drugs. He's also charged with violating conditions of release. Dubé is facing one count of aggravated trafficking in a scheduled drug. A tree trimmer had to be rescued after a bucket truck tipped over in York. Officials say the man was working on Main Street Sunday when the rig suddenly toppled over, leaving the bucket portion still up in the air. Multiple rescue crews worked to stabilize that truck so the person in the lift could be rescued. It took about 4 hours to stabilize, rescue the man, and then recover the vehicle. There's no word on if that person in the lift received any injuries. The Maine Department of Health and Human Services is the state's largest department, and it is charged with providing child protective services and supervising adult guardianship programs, among other services. There have been multiple deaths from both programs. Our Corey Bouchard takes a look at the issue in part one of our series, From Care to Crisis.
Over the past 3 years, there have been 8 incapacitated adults in the state's care who have died from unknown circumstances. And now, state lawmakers want answers.
I don't think that there's any emergency in this year that rises to the level of this one.
Well, I mean, I think anytime, someone passes away in state, care, that's really worrisome.
Senate President Troy Jackson and Senate Republican leader Trey Stewart may be on different sides of the political aisle, but one issue that seems to be unifying across party lines is ensuring the proper care of children and adults under state supervision. Since 2018, the number of child deaths in the state have consistently been in the double digits, with the last two reported years of 2021 and 2022 being 31 and 29 respectively. Many of those children had some prior contact with the Department of Health and Human Services.
For a while, the spotlight has been on children in Maine, as it should be. Any child death is too many. But we have seen a pattern of behavior now as it relates to not just child deaths, child abuse, and now adults with guardianship situations.
Due to a slip-up with how the Maine Attorney General's office handled a request for information by media outlet The Maine Monitor, we have learned about 8 adults from across the state who were under public guardianship that died between 2020 and 2023. The adults all died from what the Maine Office of the Chief Medical Examiner described as undetermined. The most common cause of death was allegedly over-medication. According to Senate President Jackson, they were not made aware of the deaths, despite there being a law requiring the department to report to lawmakers about deaths of adults under guardianship.
Finding out why we didn't get those reports, we didn't know. My gosh, one of them I think was in Fort Kent until read about it in the paper.
At the State House, I'm Corey Bouchard for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
All right, moving on to other news now. Maine Senator Angus King is urging the Biden administration to take action on energy costs before we get too far into the winter season. In a letter to the White House, Office of Management and Budget, and the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Senator King said, quote, amid increased energy prices resulting from Russia's war in Ukraine and inflationary pressures, LIHEAP has become even more important for helping families pay their energy bills without foregoing other essentials. Unfortunately, supplemental funding is needed once again as we head into another winter heating season. Winter heating prices are expected to remain roughly as high as last year, and LIHEAP applications are up significantly. According to the National Energy Assistance Directors Association, states are reporting increases of up to 20% in the number of LIHEAP applications since last year. With limited funding, states will face some tough choices about the amount of assistance they can provide and the number of people they can help. Nationally, it is estimated some 6 million households receive assistance from LIHEAP, including over 45,000 households right here in the state of Maine. Well, on Saturday, dozens of people from several parts of the state rallied on the steps of the Pierce Memorial in downtown Bangor, calling for solidarity with the people of Palestine. Our Grace Blanchard spoke with a protest organizer about his mission to seek justice for the Palestinians caught in the middle of the war.
There can be no peace without justice, so I'm calling for justice above all.
Over the weekend, Mainers from all across the state gathered right here in Bangor in a demonstration to end the violence between Israel and Palestine.
It is very, very clear now they are going for full-on ethnic cleansing of the Gaza Strip, and I could not remain silent.
Bangor resident Brendan Davison organized the protest with other community members in the wake of the violence that started with Hamas's invasion of Israel and the murder of scores of innocent Israelis and some Americans.
What we've seen outright with the leaders of the Israeli government is they're straight up denying that Palestinian civilians even exist.
Palestine is composed of the West Bank and Gaza Strip. Davidson says the conflict has resulted in the death and displacement of many Palestinians who did not ask for this violence, but have landed in the crosshairs.
Think about what it would be like to have been expelled from your home, to have been living in exile for 75 years, to live under siege, under blockade, live under segregation and dispossession. Think about that situation. Think about their humanity. That's what it comes down to.
Davison says his hope is to give a voice to the people in Palestine, whose messages of peace, he says, have been lost amongst the chaos.
In the siege of Gaza, stop the bombing, stop the killing. We stand with the Palestinian people that we feel for their suffering, and we want to see a day when they are free, when they can live in peace, and when they can live in justice.
In Bangor, Grace Blanchard for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
A crisis in the classroom. Maine schools need substitute teachers. In fact, Oceanside Middle School on the coast was forced to close yesterday because of a lack of subs. Owen Kingsley is in with the details.
One mom I spoke with scrambled to find childcare for her 6th grade daughter after hearing that her school would be closed today. She works 6 days a week and fears missing work if school closes again.
It put me in a big bind because I have to be at work every day.
Amanda Smith found out Sunday evening she would need to find childcare for her 6th grade daughter Isabella on Monday. Fortunately, Isabella's grandmother helped out.
She works from home, so it kind of puts her in a bind too because there's kids there. And this is just the first time, and who knows how many other times it's going to happen.
7 teachers called out Monday from Oceanside Middle School, about 1/5 of the entire school's teaching staff. The district struggled to find enough subs to cover for them and had to make the decision to cancel school for the day. Just 2 weeks ago, school officials were warned of how dire staffing has become at the middle school.
The staff is doing what we can, but we need some help.
On October 4th, Hal Perry told the school board ed techs like himself were overtaxed.
The other day, I covered an 8th grade class for 3 periods. I had to run up the other end of the hall and cover 7th grade for 2 periods.
We're extremely concerned.
RSU 13 Superintendent John McDonald would not speak with us on camera, but said he hopes they will not have to close like this in the future. The school board has taken steps raising wages for substitutes and advertising for openings, even before every movie at the local movie theater.
We are doing everything we can creatively.
Superintendent John McDonald tells us that he expects Oceanside Middle School to reopen on Tuesday. The middle school is looking to fill 3 full-time positions right now.
Owen Kingsley reporting. Meanwhile, after almost 15 years serving as Husson University president and CEO, Robert Clark formally announced yesterday he will be retiring in December of 2024. Clark's tenure began New Year's Day 2010, and the highlights include improvements in Husson's academics, finances, and expanded enrollment, as well as helping establish several academic infrastructures, including the schools of science and humanities, business, and more. He also oversaw the integration of the New England School of Communications into the university.
How could we strengthen the experiential learning that those students were going to receive was part of the priorities coming into the institution.
Well, according to Clark, something he holds as one of his proudest achievements during his time at the College Circle, the 10,000 plus students who received their Husson University diplomas. Congratulations to him. Well, it may still be fall, but winter has arrived in some parts of New England. That's certainly the case atop Mount Washington, where the first measurable snowstorm of the season has arrived. Take a look at this. Looks pretty icy. The road to the summit is now closed about two-thirds of the way up. That allows people to still check out the tree line and all of the foliage. There's now snow covering the top, though. The fog has also helped encase everything in ice at the Mount Washington Observatory. Workers there have had to knock it free to keep their instruments working. Here in Maine, we usually get the first measurable snowfall during the first part of November. I know a lot of people are looking forward to it. Myself, I can wait a little bit. Looks pretty cold. All right, the time now is 6:13. Coming up next on Good Morning Maine, we'll meet Hazel the Fire Dog and how the sport of boxing is making a real difference in the lives of those fighting Parkinson's disease. But first, let's take another look at that weather forecast. We can expect clouds today and scattered showers, maybe some breaks of sun as the day rolls along. The highs will be around 55 degrees. Mostly cloudy tonight with lows dropping down to the low 40s. Tomorrow, a partly cloudy day with highs near 59.
Mesothelioma is more than a ravaging illness. It is a disease that can ruin a family's finances and is never the victim's fault. The law offices of Joe Bornstein has been fighting and winning for Maine families for nearly 50 years, and we've collected over $500 million for injured Mainers. If you or a loved one is a victim of mesothelioma or asbestos-related lung cancer, call Joe today for a free case evaluation and to learn about your family's legal rights. Dial 207-CALL-JOE or online at joebornstein.com.
It's another exciting year of high school football in the state of Maine. Get out and support your home team and be looking for the ABC7 Sports Blitz crew. You can get a free Sports Blitz t-shirt, then watch Sports Blitz during ABC7 News at 11 every Friday night during the football season. Blitz shirts courtesy of Coastal Auto Parts, Tony Murray's Fairway Auto Sales, Disconnected Tattoo and Art Company, Dragonfire Pizza, Friend and Friend, Loring Job Corps, Patriot Homes, and Ray Plumbing and Heating.
oversharing can be weird.
How you doing, buddy? I'm more excited than a mosquito flying into a nudist colony.
Weekdays at 9 on ABC7.
For the first time, the Maine Association of Broadcasters named a television station of the year for excellence. ABC7 and Fox 22 are honored to be the very first station awarded this achievement.
Local news weeknights at 6 with Beth Jones and Peter Dubois on ABC.
Welcome back, everyone. In early October, we brought you the story about a program that helps individuals with Parkinson's disease through boxing-style exercises and being part of a strong family. Our Doug Banks took us into the ring and spoke with the boxers themselves.
I'm here today because of this group.
Meet Jack Kunkel, Byron Vinton, and Harvard Austin. 3 boxers at Rock City Boxing, Bold Coast, Maine. Diagnosed in 2018, Harvard started here 2 years ago.
It took me a while to get into the program because I felt I didn't need it.
But now, he's never going to throw in the towel.
Now I come Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. It means that much to me, you know, for the life that I'm going through right now.
This program helps boxers well beyond the physical exercises.
Everyone in that room has Parkinson's, and I bet you'll never find 2 people that have the same symptoms.
Sometimes it's the things we can't see.
I have this hallucination where I have smoke coming out of my nose and my mouth, and nobody else can see it but me. And I can feel it right now. I can see it. In the not that distant future, past rather, I had serious thoughts of ending my own life. And one of the reasons I didn't was this group.
Everybody had a life before their diagnosis. And every day they're here, it's a reminder that they are alive and they will never fight alone.
I get grandkids now, so that's helping me drive myself a little bit more.
The camaraderie and seeing the people and getting to know everybody, and that's the best part about it for me. It made me realize that maybe there was some reason to hang around for a while longer.
In Ellsworth, Doug Banks, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
That's great. You see a lot of smiles there, too. All right, moving on now. Dalmatians have always been seen as the unofficial mascot of firefighters, according to the American Kennel Club. However, an Aussie Shepherd named Hazel didn't get the memo. As Jody Hersey tells us, this dog has decided it's her duty to assist the Camden Fire Department.
Hazel is not your typical fire dog. She likes to nap, especially in the mornings, and she enjoys her fair share of peanuts, which is not a great resume for a working dog. But despite those characteristics, she's proving to be a valuable member of the Camden Fire Department.
I brought her a few times to see how we go, and she kind of fit right in and just now expects to come every day.
When this 2.5-year-old Australian Shepherd is not snoozing on the job, her owner, Camden Fire Chief Chris Farley, says she's socializing.
She visits the town office, she goes over to the police department, she runs up and down the hallway in the police department, and so she's just a very social dog that wants to see and meet people.
And then there was that one time where they came upon a car accident near Camden Hills State Park.
2 young children in the car. Nobody was seriously hurt, and they were sitting on the grass off to the side just crying. So my wife happened to be with me because we were at the park, so she went over and brought the dog to them and just calmed the kids right down.
Fellow fireman Matt Heath says Hazel is a joy to be around.
Yep, no, it is nice having her around. She helps keep everything nice and mellow.
As stressful as the firefighting profession can be, Chief Farley hopes Hazel can be a source of calm and comfort to those she encounters.
She runs up to everybody and greets her during or after calls when she's been in here, and we go back out into the apparatus bay. She just kind of goes out there with that bundle of happy energy and spreads it around.
In Camden, I'm Jody Hersey for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
What a good dog. All right, the time now is 6:19. Coming up after the break, the latest news from around the globe, including a growing humanitarian crisis in the Middle East. And lawmakers in Washington are set to vote on a new House Speaker today. We'll have the latest from Washington as Good Morning Maine continues.
So we've lived in this house coming up 23 years. We just bought the tractor, and I haven't any idea how we survived without it.
We're trying to rebuild the rock wall on this new property. She says, pick that rock up and put it here. No, it'll look better if you turn it this way. No, we're gonna need to move it over there 5 feet.
I would come to him and say, can you do this for me? And he'd kind of, do the, ugh. But now he has a tractor. He's much more motivated.
Experience United, your local John Deere dealer.
From a gallon of gas to a gallon of milk, everything costs more these days. And question 3 will make things worse. It'll cost billions, and we'll be on the hook for it. It will increase our electric bills. And question 3, it doesn't require an operations plan, not even for emergencies or power outages. Question 3 is too costly and too risky for my family. I'm voting no on 3. It's a bad idea for Maine.
Do you want to improve or upgrade your home? Well, At Home Furniture, Appliance, and Bedding in Lincoln and Dover Foxcroft has got you covered. We pride ourselves in the relationships we build with every customer, from commercial businesses to homeowners. We have some of the best prices on the best brands of appliances, furniture, and mattresses, and we even offer full kitchen and bath remodels with a designer and installers on staff. So stop in today and check us out at one of our locations and see what we can do to make you feel at home.
Welcome back to Good Morning Maine. Get ready to pop those corks. Grape growers say this year's product is crushing it. Unseasonably warmer temperatures and less issues with wildfire smoke are two of the main reasons why experts are optimistic about this year's wine season. Winery owners are looking forward to taking this harvest to market, saying the crop has benefited by the warmer temperatures.
I think it's one of those vintages that's really going to be about sense of place. It's going to be expressive. Each vineyard site's going to be unique. Those later, longer, kind of mild summers allow really great hang time for flavor development. And so I think they're just going to be phenomenal.
Well, good news for red wine drinkers. Right now, the focus is on harvesting Cabernet Sauvignon grapes out of Napa Valley, California. Pretty neat. I'll take a glass, why not? As far as our weather is concerned, looks like kind of a cloudy start to the day today. Maybe a few rain showers, then things should be clearing up just a little bit. Let's turn things over to Conrad for more.
Today's morning weather is brought to you by Tip Trailer Grocers, offering discounted and a great selection of local produce, meat, and dairy. All right, guys, welcome back. Most of the Northeast, pretty much the same. Overcast conditions, a couple of lingering sprinkles, but mainly the trend is things will be improving the next 24 hours. Condition-wise here, same story. We do have overcast conditions right now, even a couple of sprinkles lingering in and around the area just east of town as well. But things will be pretty much really clearing up the next several hours. The rest of the day, we are looking at some decreasing clouds, mainly going to stay cloudy with a couple of lingering sprinkles. By overnight tonight, we start to clear up, and then by tomorrow, things will look much, much better. Rainfall-wise, though, not much rain the next couple of days, maybe a trace of an inch of rain. Of course, a very light rain. Then the next several days, maybe a half an inch up north. Same story, Millinocket area possibly receiving around half an inch of rain by around that Friday, Saturday-ish time frame. Temperature-wise, though, we've been up and down pretty much every other day the last week. 2 weeks ago, we were in the 60s, 70s, even some 80s showing up. The last week or so has been a little bit cooler. We've been staying slightly below average to near average, kind of like tomorrow. Then we're above average Thursday, Friday, right through Saturday. High temperatures will actually be in those low to mid 60s ahead of some cooler air rolling back in by the weekend. For today, though, we are looking at mainly cloudy skies. Scattered showers will be possible. Other than that, we're going to stay dry. Temperatures will be hovering at around 55 degrees. For tonight, Mostly cloudy skies, calm winds. It's going to allow that atmosphere to really cool on off back to those upper 30s in some spots to lower 40s. That's going to be the average. And then for tomorrow, a little bit warmer, near 60 under a partly cloudy sky and a very, very light breeze. So those temperatures will feel great outdoors. Our extended forecast outlook does show an even better day in the forecast on Thursday. Check out those temperatures back in those mid 60s. Then a little bit cooler Friday into Saturday. We're looking at lower 60s. More chances of sprinkles arriving by Friday, and then more chances of rain by Saturday.
Bindi Irwin. She's faced pain and intense fatigue for years, and she says doctors dismissed it. Now this week, she reveals what she did and the procedure that finally helped change everything for her. It's what every woman should know. This week on Good Morning America.
A texting driver hit me and I had to stop working. I needed help, but the insurance company only offered me this tiny check.
This tiny check won't even cover my medical bills.
After a car accident, don't take a tiny check from the insurance company. Call the twos.
I didn't take a tiny check. I called the twos, and Lowry & Associates got me over $350,000.
Call the twos. We win for you.
If you're hurt in an accident, what do? Call 222-2222.
It's another exciting year of high school football in the state of Maine. Get out and support your home team and be looking for the ABC7 Sports Blitz crew. You can get a free Sports Blitz t-shirt, then watch Sports Blitz during ABC7 News at 11 every Friday night during the football season. Blitz shirts courtesy of Paramount Paving, Silver Fox Automotive, Body Graphics Tattoo and Piercing Studio, Coastal Auto Parts, Color Concepts, Joe's Market, Overhead Door Company of Bangor, and Twin City Tile.
Hanks Husqvarna is your full-line Husqvarna dealer with 2 convenient locations, 32 Old State Road in Carmel and 19 Moosehead Trail in Newport. Whether it's tractors and zero turns, chainsaws to trimmers, or pressure washers to battery power, everything is set up, serviced, and ready to go by our certified Husqvarna technician. And all sales are backed by our in-house Husqvarna warranty. For parts, service, or sales, stop in to Hanks Husqvarna, Carmel, or Newport.
The Farmer's Table in Corinna brings you outstanding breakfasts, lunches, and dinners made from farm-grown fresh ingredients. Dinner specials are available every day. Enjoy our homemade desserts, and above all, bring your appetite to the Farmer's Table in Corinna.
You're watching ABC7 Bangor.
A humanitarian crisis is growing worse in Gaza. The death toll is approaching 3,000 people, and Hamas has reportedly been fighting efforts to restore water and help civilians evacuate. ABC's Rhiannon Alley has the latest.
This morning, truckloads of aid were still idling at the Gaza-Egypt border, with diplomatic efforts to open the Rafah border crossing ongoing. Egypt has said the crossing is not officially closed, but was made inoperable due to Israeli airstrikes.
Everything is getting worse. We're really exhausted, and we can't tolerate more, but we can do nothing. We have to stay in our houses.
People in Gaza have been pleading for water, food, and fuel after all routes out of the territory were closed ahead of a looming ground invasion by Israeli troops. Hospitals are on the verge of losing electricity, threatening the lives of thousands of patients. The director of one hospital in Gaza City telling ABC News last night the only generator that supplies electricity may run out of fuel within hours, and then the hospital will be a mass grave. Authorities in Gaza say Israeli airstrikes have now killed more than 2,700 people, but at least 1,200 people are still believed to be buried under rubble. More than 3,700 residential buildings have been destroyed.
We have been very patient, very clear, very patient, very tolerant about the humanitarian situation, because we have said, and we stand by this, the civilians are not our enemies, Hamas is.
The State Department now says nearly 1,000 U.S. citizens and their immediate family members have departed Israel on government-chartered flights, and more than 4,000 seats were made available to Americans by air and sea. Adela Schutzberg is traveling via ship to Cyprus with her 2 children, hoping to reach Dallas by tomorrow.
I'm constantly on edge, and I can't do that to my kids. I can't let them live like this.
Rhiannon Alley, ABC News, New York.
Secretary of State Anthony Blinken says President Biden will visit Israel on Wednesday to reaffirm the United States' support for its ally. The United States top diplomat making the announcement earlier yesterday in Tel Aviv.
Good morning. On Wednesday, President Biden will visit Israel. He's coming here at a critical moment for Israel, for the region, and for the world. And he's coming here to do the following. First, the President will reaffirm the United States' solidarity with Israel and our ironclad commitment to its security. President Biden will again make clear, as he's done unequivocally since Hamas's slaughter of more than 1,400 people, including at least 30 Americans, that Israel has the right and indeed the duty to defend its people from Hamas and other terrorists and to prevent future attacks. The President will hear from Israel what it needs to defend its people as we continue to work with Congress to meet those needs.
On the day, the Secretary of State and the Israeli Prime Minister, Benjamin Netanyahu, took shelter in a bunker for 5 minutes when air raid sirens went off during a meeting they were having. It's Blinken's second visit to Israel in just a few days. Well, members of Congress met last night to discuss the Speaker's race. GOP nominee Jim Jordan has been making inroads, flipping some detractors, but it's still unclear if he'll be able to get a majority of his caucus on board before a noon vote today. Fox News correspondent Carolyn Shively has more from Washington.
I felt good walking into the conference. I feel even better now.
Hard-right Republican Jim Jordan moved closer to becoming House Speaker on Monday night, pressing for votes in a closed-door meeting.
He's just a tremendous leader and a tremendous communicator, and I'm very excited for him.
I think there was more persuasion than pressure.
I think we have candidates that can be a bigger consensus candidate.
Jordan has already won over several middle-of-the-road Republicans who had vocally opposed him.
House Republicans are just tired of not having a speaker, and maybe they're willing to give Jordan a chance, but centrists have to be convinced that he is going to represent them, not just the conservatives.
The floor vote is set for Tuesday. There's no guarantee of a win.
I don't know how many detractors. It seems like there's still a few.
And it could be a repeat of January when Kevin McCarthy took 15 rounds to win the gavel.
A speaker has not been elected.
I don't know how many votes it will take.
I'm going to project we will have multiple rounds.
Jordan is also working to win over members worried he would try to slash budgets after he voted against a continuing resolution to fund the government.
He, in essence, voted for a government shutdown, and I know that concerns a lot of appropriators.
Without a speaker, the House can't vote on any bills, including those funding the wars in Ukraine and Israel.
I know that the House is in disarray, but we cannot wait for them. The needs are too great.
It's possible if Jordan can't win the vote, Democrats and Republicans could reach a deal on a consensus candidate. Democrats are set to hold their own closed-door meeting on Tuesday. In Washington, Caroline Shively, Fox News.
And now to the new court ruling in one of the criminal cases involving former President Donald Trump. This time, the judge's order affects what Trump can say about the case. Andrew Dimbert with more.
This morning, former President Trump firing back after being placed under a gag order in his federal election interference case. During a rally in Iowa last night, Trump saying he's willing to spend time behind bars.
What they don't understand is that I am willing to go to jail if that's what it takes for our country to win and become a democracy again.
The gag order imposed by the federal judge yesterday will limit what Trump can say about the case, about potential witnesses, and about the prosecutor, Special Counsel Jack Smith. Judge Tanya Chutkin saying, "I cannot imagine any other criminal case in which the defendant is permitted to call the prosecutor deranged or a thug. I will not permit it here." But the judge will still allow Trump to criticize President Biden and the Justice Department, and he can still make claims that the case is politically motivated. Trump has pleaded not guilty to conspiring to defraud the United States and obstruct the certification of the 2020 election. He argued his social media posts and statements about the case are protected political speech. Trump says he'll appeal the gag order. In the meantime, if he violates the order, it will be up to the judge to impose a penalty. Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, New York.
Coming up on the second half of the newscast, they're getting ready for the annual Pumpkins in the Park celebration in Bangor. We'll tell you how you can take part in that important fundraiser. And one automaker says the ongoing labor strike could prevent car makers from creating new vehicles. We'll have those stories and more as Good Morning Maine continues.
It's another exciting year of high school football in the state of Maine. Get out and support your home team and be looking for the ABC7 Sports Blitz crew. You can get a free Sports Blitz t-shirt, then watch Sports Blitz during ABC7 News at 11 every Friday night during the football season. Blitz shirts courtesy of Coastal Auto Parts, First National Bank, Johnson Foundations, Loring Job Corps, Pixels to Print, and Stearns Lumber.
With AAA Insurance, by bundling our home and auto policies, we saved over $450.
And we were shocked at the savings.
When we switched to AAA auto insurance and bundled our policies, we were able to save over $400 every year.
Switch to AAA insurance today, and you could save an average of $483 on auto insurance. Compare that to State Farm, Geico, even Allstate. Call now for your free AAA full picture quote to find out how much you could save.
Well, my passion is hang gliding. I've been doing it for over 30 years, and it's like flying. I mean, it's like everything you always dreamed about. AAA insurance helps us save more.
And do more.
The savings from AAA Insurance has allowed me to pursue my passion of making jewelry. It's great to have a little bit of extra cash to do something that you love.
To find out how much you could save by switching to AAA insurance, call 866-460-1310 for your free AAA full picture quote today. You'll be glad you did.
Coming to Cross Insurance Center in Bangor for the first time ever, the all-new Hot Wheels Monster Trucks Live Glow Party. Watch your favorite Hot Wheels Monster Trucks light up the floor, including Bigfoot, Megarex, and many more. And don't miss the debut of the all-new Hot Wheels Monster Truck Gangster, plus the dazzling dance party, laser light show, and more. And save up to 50% on kids' tickets. Don't miss this one-of-a-kind Hot Wheels experience, October 20th through 22nd at Cross Insurance Center in Bangor. Tickets available at Ticketmaster.com.
You're watching ABC7 Bangor.
Welcome back, everyone. Today is Tuesday, October 17th, 2023. It is also the International Day for the Eradication of Poverty. Sounds pretty nice. Well, this is a day to acknowledge the suffering of people who are living in poverty all around the world. The United Nations adopted a resolution back in 1992 encouraging nations to fight poverty by taking steps towards sustainable development and to identify long-term solutions. Here in Maine, more than 144,000 people are living below the poverty line, and the statewide child poverty rate is more than 18%. That's higher than many states in our country. All right, on this day in history, back in 1931, infamous gangster Al Capone was convicted of tax evasion charges. In 1933, because of anti-Semitism and anti-intellectualism, Albert Einstein arrived in the United States as a refugee to escape Nazi Germany. In 1952, the world's first successful use of a mechanical heart took place. In 1989, the worst earthquake in 82 years struck the San Francisco area. It killed 67 people and caused an estimated $10 billion in damage. And in 2006, the U.S. reached a population of 300 million people. All kinds of numbers for you this morning. All right, today's birthdays include country music great Alan Jackson, who is 65 years old, one of my favorites. Rapper Eminem is 51, and actress Felicity Jones is 40 years old today. Quite a diverse lineup there. Happy birthday to all of them. If they were in Maine today, they would start their day under clouds and a little bit of rain depending on where you are. Looks like it will be clearing out as the day rolls along, though. Let's turn things over to Conrad for another check of that forecast.
Thank you so much. Our first weather this morning is brought to you by Tip Trailer, offering discounted and a great selection of local produce, meat, and dairy. All right, guys, visibility is not too bad. All over the area, we are at 10, so visibilities are very good. Good conditions are in the area, not much fog, but we do have some overcast conditions, even a couple of lingering sprinkles still left over. We did have some rain yesterday, overnight as well, and then into these early morning hours, kind of like expected, but things will start to clear up later on this afternoon. Wind speed wise, though, not too bad. Besides here in town, we do have a 10-mile-per-hour sustained wind. That means wind gusts are closer to 25 miles per hour. Up north, Millinocket area, Greenville, a little bit lighter, but still at around 7 miles per hour. And then right by the coast, Bar Harbor, Rockland, things are looking very calm. For today, though, mainly cloudy, scattered rain showers in the area. Temperatures will be hovering at around 55 degrees. For tonight, A little bit cooler, lower 40s outside, mostly cloudy skies and calm conditions once again. For tomorrow, though, upper 50s near 60 degrees, partly cloudy skies, and a light southwest breeze at just 5 to 10 miles per hour. Later on this afternoon, we are going to continue to see some overcast conditions, a few lingering sprinkles possible. Other than that, we will stay dry. Temperatures back in those mid-50s.
Things will be clearing out nice. Good leaf peeping weather coming up. Thank you, Conrad. We'll see you again a little later on. Meanwhile, United Cerebral Palsy of Maine's 21st annual Pumpkins in the Park fundraiser is officially less than a week away. It will be taking place at the Anna Shrine Building next Sunday from 11 a.m. until 5 p.m. Organizers tell us it will feature hundreds of growing jack-o'-lanterns and family fun activities, including trick-or-treating, face painting, and prizes. All the proceeds will help support children and adults with physical, mental, and intellectual needs in the community. This year's theme is Hooked on Books. Sponsors are encouraged to decorate their booths based on a book of their choice. UCP of Maine's Marketing and Community Relations Manager Andrew Lohman says he's excited for the fundraiser to kick off.
Through COVID, we had to do it digitally, and last year we were glad to be back in person, and this year we're back stronger than ever.
The event costs $5 per person or just $15 for an entire family. You can go have some Halloween fun and knowing you're helping some kids and adults who face some big challenges out there. All right, still to come this morning, Ryan Sudol with all the day sports news. Don't go away.
Bruno! Pup on the run? No problem. With 5 drive modes, Rogue makes this a walk in the park.
Drive the Nissan Rogue. Now get a low $349 per month lease on Rogue.
Commercial vehicles can be dangerous, and they usually carry big insurance policies. So whether you're hurt by a landscaping truck like this, a work van like this, or a big rig like this, we know commercial vehicle accidents, and we know how to get you the big money you may deserve. If any commercial vehicle hurts you, call the twos. We win for you.
Hurt by a commercial vehicle? Call the twos. We win for you. Call 222-2222.
Your piece of land demands the very best equipment. Kubota equipment. The #1 rated tractor brand for durability and owner experience with professional grade mowers, versatile sidekick utility vehicles, and compact tractors that get it done right. All backed by unmatched dealer support. Talk to your dealer today to schedule a demo.
Available at Doors Equipment, 1468 Outer Hammond Street, Bangor.
Bruno! Pup on the run? No problem. With 5 drive modes, Rogue makes this a walk in the park.
Drive the Nissan Rogue. Now get a low $349 per month lease on Rogue.
The good, the bad, and the ugly.
No, but that describes my teenage years perfectly.
Person, place, or thing.
Weekdays at 10 on ABC7.
Hey everybody, Ryan Sudol here. Thank you so much for joining us. Well, another week, another Patriots loss, their third straight. They got closer than previous weeks though, at least. Falling to the Raiders 21-17, the Patriots are now 1-5 for the first time since 1995. Quarterback Mac Jones getting sacked in the end zone late in regulation, which sealed the deal for Las Vegas. The Patriots had some positive moments in the game, but once again, when it mattered most, just couldn't make that 1 or 2 plays that would have made the difference. The one common thread in all 5 Patriots losses: they fell behind early and could never quite catch up.
It's been hard to play from behind. That's not the way you want to play in this league or really in any competitive sport that I could think of. And we got to do a better job of that. There's no doubt about it. We just have to do a better job. When we get our opportunities early in the game, we just haven't made the most of them. And we have to do a better job of that. So it's coaching, playing, it's all the above.
Okay, now to some happier news. Maine football have now won 2 out of 3 after picking up a huge homecoming win Saturday against LIU. The Black Bears were down 10-7 at the break, but came out in the third with a 14-play, 85-yard scoring drive, and they kept the lead from there. Derek Robinson, another strong outing with 235 yards and 3 touchdowns, and the defense certainly did their job down the stretch. All in all, head coach Jordan Stevens believes it was the best the entire team has looked all year.
It didn't start out the way we wanted to in the first 2 series of the game.
but I thought we responded well and continued to play, and that's been a point of emphasis for us is just responding, staying within process throughout the entire game and doing a better job in those second and third quarters. I thought it was our most complete game as a team. There's a lot of areas we could be better, but always good to get a win on homecoming.
Now the Black Bears get back on the CAA train and prep to face Campbell down in North Carolina on Saturday, the first time the Black Bears have ever faced the Camels. They're averaging 37 points a game so far, so it'll be difficult for the Black Hole, but Coach Stevens says as long as they approach it correctly, the results will come.
They're an explosive offense. I think they can find a way in the run and the pass game. It's a huge challenge this week going down there. They're a team that's really built to go down the stretch here, in the late October into November. So a lot of respect for what they've done this year, and we'll approach this week the right way and with the right focus.
Now let's go to some high school action. Girls soccer regular season coming to a close. Two teams Monday had their regular season finale with MCI hosting Mount View. Mustangs looking to break a 3-game skid. Huskies their 9th win of the year. 13th minute, MCI's Amia Braley. A ripper from way out, but Jordan Van Osen with a nice save off the quick bounce. Under a minute later, Jasmine Herrera, a great ball all the way down to Olivia Varney. She's looking for her 100th career goal on senior day, but Van Osen sprawls out for it. 25th minute, Mount View's Brooke Dyer sends this one sky high towards the net, but Skyla Dean gets under it to keep things scoreless. Finally, 30th minute, Emily Lawrence chips it into the box. Emma Hurd tries to clear it, but here comes Varney, and there it is, her 100th career goal to put the Huskies up 1-0. They go on to win 4-0. Here's Varney on her historic accomplishment.
It feels great knowing that on mine and my seniors, like my senior class's last home game, that I got to get that accomplishment, and I'm glad that they were with me. Coming in freshman year, I wasn't expecting it, but it's something that has just come along the way, and I can't be thankful enough for my teammates to help me get there.
Okay, now to some more girls soccer in Class B. John Bapps on the playoff bubble playing Old Town. 4th minute, Old Town Sage Evans to Michaela Johnston. The shot saved by Ruby Dwyer on the diving attempt. A couple minutes later, Bapps threatening. Sydney Legassi trying to get the cross in, but Sadie May putting her body in the way to cut it off. We remain scoreless. 17th minute, Bapps Sofia Mendoza-Martinez centers it off the foot of Libby Saucier, and Claire Gattani, right place, right time for the goal, 1-0 Crusaders. 31st minute, Bapps Aubrey Hanscom with it. She says, what the heck, I'm going to boot this thing with the left foot, and she sneaks it in. Incredible shot to put them up 2-0. Crusaders a huge victory. They win 4-2. And now some other scores from the area. Class B field hockey, Levitt 2-1 over Nokomis. Class C volleyball, George Stevens 3-0 over Bucksport. Class B boys soccer, MDI and Ellsworth play to a 1-1 tie. And in Class B girls soccer, Foxcroft Academy 1-0 over Sumner. Okay, that's all the time we have for sports. I'm Ryan Sudol. We'll be back right after the break.
We're no football players.
But we do know Medicare.
So why call some out-of-state 800 number?
When help is right here at home.
Listen to what these people have to say.
My insurance kept going up and up and up and up.
I could never have navigated through the loopholes.
Gave me all my options and signed me up with what I needed within an hour.
Senior Planning Center was a lifesaver for us.
Oh, by the way,
we represent most Medicare health plans.
Mesothelioma is more than a ravaging illness. It is a disease that can ruin a family's finances and is never the victim's fault. The law offices of Joe Bornstein has been fighting and winning for Maine families for nearly 50 years, and we've collected over $500 million for injured Mainers. If you or a loved one is a victim of mesothelioma or asbestos-related lung cancer, call Joe today for a free case evaluation and to learn about your family's legal rights. Dial 207-CALL-JOE or online at joebornstein.com.
Maine has the best shipbuilders in the world.
But to compete, we need reliable and affordable energy.
That's why we're voting no.
No on question 3.
It will cost Mainers billions and increase costs for families and businesses like Bath Iron Works.
Like Bath Iron Works. And the politicians, they're not even required to have an operations plan when they take over. We'd never do our job without a plan.
Please vote no on question 3.
It's a bad idea for Maine.
Get this done. done. Hold on just a second. All right, welcome back, everyone. The executive chairman for the Ford Motor Company is calling for an end to the United Auto Workers strike. Bill Ford is asking auto workers to band together to put an end to the month-long strike that he says could be hazardous to the company's ability to invest in the future. In a speech from the company's hometown of Dearborn, Michigan, Ford says high labor costs could limit the company's ability to create new vehicles and invest in factories.
We can stop this now. And I call on my great UAW colleagues, some of whom I've known for decades. Many are close personal friends. We need to come together to bring an end to this acrimonious round of talks. If it continues, it will have a major impact on the American economy and devastate local communities.
8,700 union members walked out of Ford's largest and most profitable plant last week in Louisville, Kentucky. The UAW strike began on September 15th when workers from all three Detroit automakers walked out in targeted strikes, and they continue to this day. All right, let's check in one more time with Conrad for your full weather forecast.
Today's morning weather is brought to you by Tip Trailer Grocers, offering discounted and a great selection of local produce, meat, and dairy. All right, guys, welcome back. Most of the Northeast, pretty much the same. Overcast conditions, a couple of lingering sprinkles, but mainly the trend is things will be improving the next 24 hours. Condition-wise here, same story. We do have overcast conditions right now, even a couple of sprinkles lingering in and around the area just east of town as well, but things will be pretty much really clearing up the next several hours. The rest of the day, we are looking at some decreasing clouds, mainly going to stay cloudy with a couple of lingering sprinkles. By overnight tonight, we start to clear up, and then by tomorrow, things will look much, much better. Rainfall-wise, though, not much rain the next couple of days, maybe a trace of an inch of rain. Of course, a very light rain. Then the next several days, maybe half an inch up north. Same story, Millinocket area possibly receiving around half an inch of rain by around that Friday, Saturday-ish time frame. Temperature-wise, though, we've been up and down pretty much every other day the last week. 2 weeks ago, we were in the 60s, 70s, even some 80s showing up. The last week or so has been a little bit cooler. We've been staying slightly below average to near average, kind of like tomorrow. Then we're above average Thursday, Friday, right through Saturday. High temperatures will actually be in those low to mid 60s ahead of some cooler air rolling back in by the weekend. For today, though, we are looking at mainly cloudy skies. Scattered showers will be possible. Other than that, we're going to stay dry. Temperatures will be hovering at around 55 degrees. For tonight, mostly cloudy skies, calm winds. It's going to allow that atmosphere to really cool on off back to those upper 30s in some spots to lower 40s. That's going to be the average. And then for tomorrow, a little bit warmer, near 60 under a partly cloudy sky and a very, very light breeze. So those temperatures will feel great outdoors. Our extended forecast outlook does show an even better day in the forecast on Thursday. Check out those temperatures back in those mid 60s. Then a little bit cooler Friday into Saturday. We're looking at lower 60s. More chances of sprinkles arriving by Friday, and then more chances of rain by Saturday.
Winter is coming. Make sure your roof is at peak performance with Peak Performance Roofing. With over 20 years of experience in the roofing industry, our professionals provide quality craftsmanship and expertise that you can rely on. We are fully insured and work closely with your insurance company to make the process seamless for you. Don't wait until it's too late. Contact Peak Performance Roofing today to schedule your free estimate. 416-8301. Peak Performance Roofing. Your roof is our priority.
Silver Fox Automotive is a family-owned and operated company with more than 30 years of experience. We are originally from the county and offer competitive prices and promise you will be completely satisfied with our work. We offer a stress-free experience to both our new and returning customers. We only use parts from reputable brands to ensure your vehicle is safe to drive. Here at Silver Fox, there will always be a friendly face to greet you. Come see us at 2004 Audlin Road in Herman.
To keep the doors open as long as we have, the customers always come first. And that's why we're against Question 3. Question 3 costs $13.5 billion. That's billion with a B. Which could mean higher taxes for all Mainers. It turns our power grid over to the politicians, the same politicians that take money from the oil and gas companies. They put themselves first, not us. Question 3 is a risk Mainers cannot afford.
Harris Lumber is locally owned and has been serving the Pequot region for more than 50 years. See them for all your projects, big or small. Customer service is their #1 priority. And with a full line of lumber and hardware items, they can also deliver to your job site. Harris Lumber, Milo.
Are you ready?
It was life-changing.
Let's go.
Press your luck tonight, 10, 9 Central on ABC and stream on Hulu.
A miniature prop from the original Star Wars movie sold for an out-of-this-world price. Heritage Auction says an X-Wing starfighter model known as Red Leader sold for $3.1 million at the estate sale of the late visual effects artist Greg Jean. The model was used during the Rebel Alliance's attack on the Death Star in Star Wars Episode 4: A New Hope in 1977. The entire sale made more than $13 million. It is the second highest grossing Hollywood auction behind Debbie Reynolds' estate sale back in 2011. And you might have to start paying more for your Netflix subscription. The streaming giant is set to release its earnings report Wednesday. Analysts believe a price hike for Netflix's ad-free subscription could be announced in the coming months. The move could push more subscribers to the ad tier, where Netflix can make more money through commercials. Netflix has also found success with its crackdown on password sharing. Reports say Netflix likely boosted its subscribers count by about 6 million in the third quarter. And Sony is hoping to make gaming easier for people with disabilities. The company announced its new PlayStation Access controller. The controller doesn't have to be held to be used. It can rest on a wheelchair or on a table. It also features buttons and thumbsticks with different shapes, sizes, and textures, making it easier for users with disabilities to maneuver when playing their favorite games. The company collaborated with accessibility consultants to create the new controller.
It's probably the greatest gift that I've been given in a long time. The reason being is my fingerprint, and along with everyone else who's part of this, our fingerprints are all over this.
So me being able to space out the buttons, I'll be able to press the buttons in a way where I'm not hitting 2 buttons at a time. Having gaming and having an opportunity to game at a very high level, to be able to do it again, it was like a reunion that I lost a close companion, and being able to reunite with that person again.
Sony has been working on that controller since 2018, and it is expected to go on sale December 6th for $90 a piece. And finally, Halloween is right around the corner, and Instacart is sharing data on some of the most popular candies this year. The grocery delivery service examined data on the type of candy sold on its site last October. It found chocolate and peanut butter items are a fan favorite, with Reese's Peanut Butter Cups coming in first place. Peanut M&Ms and classic M&Ms were not far behind. The fruity flavors of Sour Patch Kids came in at 7th place, while Starbursts came in at 10th. I like them all. Time to go buy your candy. The trick-or-treaters will arrive before you know it. That's it for now, folks. Good Morning America is next here on ABC 7. We'll continue broadcasting on Fox 22, and we hope you have a wonderful day.